Hi there. I want you to do a favor for me. I want you to reach up really high. I want you to scratch your back. Pretend like you're putting on a seatbelt. A lot of this is shoulder function. Our shoulders are amazing joints, massive ranges of motion, the most range of motion of any joint in the body. It allows us to push, to pull, to throw, to lift. Our shoulders help us live a fulsome life. However, some people get shoulder pain, shoulder dysfunction, and it can make simple acts of reaching for a water glass or getting dressed in the morning a real nightmare. A piece of research that came across my desk. Most older adults have rotator cuff abnormalities, but few show symptoms. This study was published March 6, 2026 in JAMA, or the Journal of the American Medical Association. The author was Samantha Anderer. What this study found was that in 99% of people over the age of 40, there's some degree of pathology or dysfunction evident on the MRI. Only 18% of those participants had symptoms. How does that equate? We've got a near 100% likelihood with age of having some wear and tear in the shoulders. In this study, they found that 62% of people had partial thickness tears, 11% had full thickness tears, 25% had tendinopathy. 98% of people with symptoms had pathology. 96% of these participants that were symptom-free had pathology. We all get the shoulder wear and tear. Our modern life, working over computers, driving, hours in these repetitive stresses accumulates wear and tear. In the neck, in the rib cage, in the shoulders themselves, it accumulates. It slowly but surely builds and builds and builds. But the imaging, the MRI imaging is not the end all and be all. Having an MRI with pathology doesn't mean that it doesn't function well. It doesn't mean that it's going to be painful. 18% of the participants had symptoms. Everybody else had problems, but they were feeling fine. They were functioning fine. So what is the root message I'm trying to share with you? We need to take care of our body, avoid that wear and tear long before we get the pain. Pain is the check engine light. It's the attention grabber. We need to focus on function. We need to focus on that joint health to keep things operating properly and happy. How does a chiropractor come into play? Chiropractors are kind of like a mechanic and an electrician all wrapped up into one. So when a chiropractor is looking at a patient, they're looking at motor patterns, they're looking at posture, ranges of motion, joint function, muscle function. Are the nerves happy or are the nerves irritated? That's that communication link between the brain and the muscles. So we're looking at all these different factors and ensuring that the body hasn't picked up some bad habits or bad programming with all the different stressors that we accumulate in life. That being said, we can have that slow accumulation, but we can also have acute injuries. You slip on the front sidewalk. There's a sports injury involved. That can derange this function very, very quickly, and the body is attempting to heal it. If we've got this wear and tear, this repetitive stress, and the body isn't healing properly, that's when we get into this dysfunction. If the dysfunction is there long enough, it starts to cause pain. So the moral of the story is we get one body. Our body is amazingly adaptable. It's one of our superpowers. The body is always trying to repair itself. Seeing a chiropractor allows for that reboot, that reset. It allows us to erase the bad programming and reinstall a better, cleaner program. Even if we have some accumulated wear and tear, we want to make sure that that function is working at our 100% so that it doesn't create symptoms and it doesn't derail and add up even more. So it's our superpowers at work yet again. Thank you for joining. If you enjoy, please follow, share this. Thank you for tuning in. Subscribe, like, and join us on this journey to unleash your full potential.